Live about our squad. As you know, everybody a few years ago were talking about squad goals, hashtag squad goals. And it was cool, but I'm an introvert, self-proclaimed introvert. I don't necessarily, or maybe I'm not an introvert, but I don't nurture relationships. And there's no reason why I don't, but I don't. But these two got my heart. They got my brain and my heart and my attention. So you know who I am, and maybe I'll say a little bit more about who I am because this is streaming. But we'll go by and introduce everybody else. Who wants to go first, Charmaine or Tanisha?
Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
thought you were going first.
I I just did. They know me. I'm
Oh,
Shalice.
they know you. Well, yeah. Some people may be watching and don't know.
And
Not
don't know.
everybody knows
You're
that
right.
this
If it's
this is
on
what
your
we have
page,
to deal with.
this
Everybody knows Sheila.
this is what I
Everybody
have
knows
to deal with.
Shalee.
Oh gosh. So I'm saying it because it's apparently streaming on my page, but then it's streaming on this is how I get checked all the time. So let me tell you. Um, here we go. And now you see the dynamic. I am Shalice Daniels. I am a mindset and business coach that focuses on rest and ease. I believe that you scale your business when you lean into rest and ease the way that I did and that I've seen so many others. The reason why that's important for my philosophy is that you release the scarcity mindset and allow the universe to know, like, oh, this is what I deserve. This is how I rest, and this is how things that I want to feel come into fruition. So I'm Shalice, y'all, Shalice Daniels.
Shalee's.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so who's going next, Charmaine or Tanisha? Tanisha,
Tanisha.
go for it.
Tanisha, I'm Tanisha Molden, attorney Tanisha Molden. I happen to be an attorney. And I am also a business coach. And I think I like to say I focus a lot on execution and productivity in my coaching program. So I really believe that taking one step at a time, working through projects, you get the most out of your life and your business. So I work through mindset, but I also very heavily believe in we can do all the talking that we want to do, but we got to execute. And I think that maybe is the dynamic that I bring. Like, what we gonna do? How we gonna do it? What we gonna do in the end to get the results that we want? So that is I think my take, and I do run a community. Um, Generation Squared is my company that I work with my community with in generating results in their business.
Cool. Thank you,
Yes.
Tanisha. Charmaine, da, 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 da. You're on the stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charmaine Brown. I am the poster child for turning corporatepreneur to entrepreneur. And I help corporate leaders, in particular women, who have always desired to leave their corporate life for entrepreneurship. I support them through mindset and business coaching, but we really focus on building your courage, building your confidence, building your business strategy, and how to execute on that. So I'm super excited to be here with my squad and to talk about something that's, I think, really important to all of us and what has kind of helped all of us get to where we are today.
So, what are we talking about? This is raw and real talk about our squad, how it became, um, 3 reasons why you need a squad, and how to get one. Charmaine, I want to hear from you. How did we even come to be? How we get here?
Well, first, there were two of us. Tanisha and I, or actually, we are both sisters, which is the national. We met during a time, I think I was the president of the chapter or incoming president, and Tanisha was a member. So we knew each other through that. But for whatever reason, oh, when I joined Rachel Rogers, We Should All Be Millionaires Club, I noticed that Tanisha was in the club. So somehow we connected and was like, hey, I just
Found
saw
you
you were in the
because you
club
posted.
and
Right.
I'm in the club. Let's talk. So that's how we actually got to know each other better. We would have thought that we would have known each other through NABO, but we really started to build a relationship, supporting each other while we were in the club. The thing is, we were both transitioning from the careers that we had had for many years into this coaching space. And so that was kind of what drew us to start connecting with each other on a regular basis. And then we went to the first ROI summit, and we actually, Tanisha was kind enough to let me stay with her that year. And that's when we really kind of deepened our friendship and our business relationship. And then some months later, this cute little thing named Shalise shows up, and we were like, oh my gosh, she is super cool. But I believe that Tanisha was the one who initially kind of engaged with you, Shalise. And then next thing you know, all three of us were on Marco Polo together, because that is how we have built our relationship, on Marco Polo. And I mean, Marco Polo should probably give us a deal, because
Yeah.
we just mentioned their names and we need to get paid for that. Okay.
We do. We'll be there.
And yeah, and some people don't even know what Marco Polo is, but Marco Polo is a one-way video communication. And I like it because it saves on productivity. Otherwise, we would probably sit on a call for hours and hours and really get nothing done.
Yeah.
Or in our business, we would think that we're being productive. I truly think we would think so, but no. Marco Polo
So
saves us.
let me tell my version of this story.
Oh.
So, okay, we're at ROI.
Uh-oh.
We're at ROI, and someone comes up to me. She's like, "You're from Detroit?" I'm hanging with a couple of ladies from Detroit. So I go right before the speaker starts, and I go over and I'm like, "Hey, y'all from Detroit? Hi, I'm Shalise." Because I didn't know them. I hadn't known them before, and Detroit is, like, to me, very small. And so I go and sit down, but the look that I got from Charmaine in particular, she was like, "Who are you?" This is going through my head. "Where did you come from?" And like, okay, like, sit down. The show is about to start. This is what I'm here for. So I sat down, and somehow we didn't get in touch with each other again. But later, some months later, I think Tanisha and I were in a group together within this Rachel Rogers, We Should All Be Millionaires. Tanisha and I were in this other side group together for coaches, and we would meet weekly. That group met weekly, I believe. And she and I had an opportunity to go back and forth a few times, and I asked for some support, a recruiter I believe I was looking for. And she gave me this recruiter, and I reached out to her like, "Hey, thank you. I'm so, so grateful." And I happened to be home in Detroit. And I'm so spontaneous. And I was like, where are you? Where do you live? Why don't we just get together? She lives down the street from me. There's a meeting place in the middle, this Coney Island, and we both met. And then that was that. On Marco Polo, Charmaine and I had our own relationship. Tanisha and I had our own relationship, but Charmaine recruited both of us to Marco Polo. And so I would tell Charmaine something and assume that Tanisha knew, because when I'm talking to Charmaine, I'm talking to Tanisha at the same time. And same thing, I would tell Tanisha something like, "Hey, it's at 8 o'clock tomorrow at my house." And assuming Charmaine knew, and they did. Charmaine was like, "Can we just all get on one Marco Polo? Because this is a little bit ridiculous." And I'm like, "Yeah, just get on the same one." And that's how this thing, to me, started and really blossomed. And what I say about this squad is that I wasn't as intentional as I have been with things in the past. But what I was intentional with, hey Leo, that's Auntie Baby. What I was intentional with was the feeling that I wanted to emit and get back from the universe. And that's why I believe these two ladies, who are different. We have a lot of we're Black women. We have a lot of commonalities, and we live in the same state, right, in the same area. But we are a little different. We have our own vibe that we bring, and it's glorious, it's beautiful, it's delicious, as I like to say. Don't shake your head, Charmaine. No, I'm gonna use that word.
I love it. I love it.
So
I
the
think,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think the thing that you rounded us off, right? So I think about, just our different personalities, and you, because of just the nature of what you do, and what your focus is on around resting and thriving, and your the love of your nomadic life, um, just that peaceness you kind of bring to our group, just in the way you talk and the way you think. And so I think that for us, even though we weren't looking for, a third squad member, it did naturally happen, but it happened with intention. And I admittedly I was nervous, thinking, oh God, is this going to change the dynamic of this, relationship that Tanisha and I had going? Because we were really in the trenches together for a few months. And then when you came in, I think my natural instinct was, okay, this is great, but I hope it stays great. And I'm sure that's probably something that people think about when they start to form their squad. And when do you bring other people in, or should you at all? And so I'm just thankful that that worked out really well for us.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I wasn't, but I was just here to bring the energy, see where it goes, how long. And I don't think the intention was to, like, oh, we're going to have a long-term squad. It was just like, look, girl, you telling me something, she telling me something. We all need to be on the same page. And it just happened. And we started, Tanisha, so consistent, so
Right.
consistent. Started checking in. Okay, ladies, here's what I'm doing for today. I'm in the lab. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, damn, she
Yep.
working for real. Let me get my
Okay.
computer out. Let me do something. So I needed that so
And then
bad.
I have to remind Tanisha, what do I have to remind you to do, to Tanisha, every single day, just about?
Oh, to stop. Oh, to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I forgot already. I haven't eaten and look, Charmaine, I have not had breakfast. I have not eaten. It's more, and I have not eaten. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
so I go, go, go. And here's the dynamic, of having people that are around you that know you to know that I will keep going. I forget to eat.
Yeah.
Um, and so I try to put it in my schedule, or I'll remember, like, as soon as I remember eating, I remember, oh, Charmaine, and I'll get on Marco Polo. Say, Charmaine, look, I'm about to have lunch.
Aren't you proud of me?
Right.
She's so proud of herself too.
She is.
I'm eating lunch right now. So I'll Marco Polo during lunchtime. Like, I wanted a lunch buddy. I wanted to talk to somebody during lunch. Because I'm usually in the lab. I think one of the things that I found, and maybe you guys would agree, and we talk about squads, and I think people think about a squad and they want a squad or accountability group,
Mhm.
right? But what I've learned is, like, accountability, we don't necessarily keep each other accountable. What I think, some people think of accountability like you're telling me what to do or whatever, but you're reminding me of what I want.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, but it's still up to me to go in there and make myself a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
I still have to hold myself accountable, but the I forget what that statistic is, that it's what you're like 90 or 80% more likely to reach your goals when you share them with someone.
Mm, yeah.
It's high.
And that's the point.
It's very
That's the
high.
point of that. Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
that's the point of that. And I think the other, I don't know if we got into the three reasons, but I was just thinking of it, is that you have the opportunity to um, intimately share what's going on with, you know,
Mhm.
in your world. and have that trust factor.
Mhm.
That you know, because entrepreneurship is can be
Hmm.
a lonely
Hmm.
place. You can't share everything with everyone, and just to have you know, a squad to come back to and
Yeah.
you know, just say what's going on is so helpful and so you know, releasing, and it helps with confidence too. I
Mhm.
think it.
Because we do remind each other all the time that, look, you got this, you can do this. Come on, we support each other. We're each other's cheerleaders. We are sometimes each other's therapists.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Charmaine is my there. Listen, so Tanisha, you said that we hadn't gotten to the 3 reasons. Well, we are now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. You
I'm
took
ready.
us there. One of the things that I love is that we do have our own dynamic. And I come in and I got my little FOMO. And so I have my childish ways of saying, like, I know y'all didn't do that without me. Whereas I'm way over on somewhere other side of the country or in some
The
other side of the
world, the
country.
world.
And so I'm joking around with them, but I do have this something that probably many of you have this thing about missing out with my girls now, whereas at first I didn't even know that I needed them. They
Mm.
weren't even a thing. But I love the fact that I can call Charmaine on the back end and be like, listen, this is some petty bullshit that just happened. Let me tell you what just happened. And have her be my business therapist. And I can call Tanisha and I can say, Tanisha, I need step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What, walk me through, talk me through this, and vice
Mhm.
versa, because I was able to do the same thing for her and for them. We end up being silly. Like there's almost a I feel like I get from this group like a teenage vibe at times, even though we make shit happen. I get a teenage vibe where I come on and I'm so bad, y'all. Yesterday, I was like filming, like, can you believe this that I gotta go through? Like, not even realizing that that part of me needed like something or wanted something or benefits from something, even if I didn't miss it because I didn't know, but it benefits from being able to be silly with someone who also gets me. Um, so one of my reasons for having a squad is because, wow, it's so funny. I thought them all out in the shower. And now that we're here to talk about them as what happened, they know I go through this. I'm like, I'll be right back. Shoot, my brain, I'm getting older. So as we're here to talk about it, I forgot. So I'm just going to be organic. I love the fact that I'm pushed by these ladies in different ways. With Tanisha, it is to get that shit done. Like, stop talking about it, be about it. So with Charmaine, it is be compassionate with yourself when you didn't hit the goal, or if you did. Also, I'm encouraged in ways that they don't realize. When I see y'all succeed, it lets me know that this could be me. When you bringing in them big ass contracts, Charmaine, she always bringing in some big ass 80,000 contract without even trying. She's like, and then I love the way she speaks.
Uh-oh.
I just got and imagine this. I want you to imagine this. We're on Marco Polo, and so we're in our element. It doesn't matter if we're in the bed, we have our bonnets on. Love that part. We're in the kitchen, we're making food, we're telling Leo to sit down, we're yelling at kids who's driving us, their first time driving us, and we're like, oh God, I'm scared, but here's what just happened. I just closed this contract for $80,000. I just closed this $12,000 contract for one speaking engagement. Those things it lets me know like, oh, okay, yeah, this is me. Yep, I see you. And that's possible because it's tangible. I can touch you. I can feel, I can like drive to her house. Right. And have mimosas, coffee, and water in the morning, all in 3
All at the
different
same time.
mugs.
Mhm.
Okay. And I love that. Yeah. So, and Tanisha, we have our own dynamic, and I love that as well. That's one of the reasons why I value this squad. Charmaine, what about you?
Yeah. So, I mean, the reality is, based on the type of work that we're all doing, I would consider us all solopreneurs, right? We are we outsource, we have VAs and things like that, but essentially we're running our business. And when you are in that kind of role, which I think a lot of folks are, you really do need to have a squad. You need to have people that you can bounce ideas off of. Being able to say, I'm thinking about creating this type of offer, or I'm thinking about hosting this event. I think about Shalise saying, just 4 or 5 weeks ago, I want to do a retreat in Costa Rica. And we were like, let's go, right? Let's do this. And here you are, getting ready you got one more seat to fill.
Yeah, I do.
So you worked it out, right? So being able to just put that, this might be kind of a crazy idea, but let me speak it out loud and let me speak it to a trusted source that will have my back and will support me along the way. That that right there alone is golden. But the fact that we have also built a very special sisterhood, and I'm all about sisterhood. Even with my clients, I want them to feel like I am their sister. I want them to feel like I got their back. I want them to feel like borrow some of my confidence and my belief
Yes.
in you
Yes.
until you can build it yourself.
Mm.
And that is also what we do for each other, right? So that to me alone is priceless when you talk about having the kind of squad that we have.
Yes.
Yay,
I
can I
love
be a
it.
part of that squad?
Yes,
I
you
want some. I
are.
want some. I want some of this. I want some of this.
Well,
This
but okay, but let me just say this much too. One of the things I love about this group is we might spend thousands and thousands of dollars on getting ourselves coached and supported and learning different tools and strategies and things like that. But guess what we don't do? We do not hold that to ourselves. You all have been so incredibly giving to me with the things that you've learned and experiences that you've had that you've paid for, and I've done the same for you. So and I'm not saying that that's like something that everybody should be looking for. What it says is we trust each other. What it says is we believe in each other enough that no matter what, even if I paid for this experience, I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to share it with my squad because I believe that we all should benefit and that we all should rise. So that's the other part that I love about this squad.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think it comes back around that, having those intimate conversations, because we know sometimes we hear that you may need something, and it's like, oh, well, I have this resource. Well, this could benefit you. And that's because we still are running our own separate businesses, but having that conversation is keeping us top of mind that I just learned, or I have this person you should know, or you should go visit this site or look at this, and then sometimes when we're on Marco Polo, we're like, everybody gets excited about it. Then we say, no, well, we just need to meet up and we're going to do a half day and we're
Right.
going to go deep dive into this and make a day of it. So we do that often. One of the things that I think, what helps me, and I think another reason why, and it comes back around to like gratitude, that I think you guys help me be more grateful because you help slow me down to pay attention. You make me acknowledge my wins.
Yes.
Yeah, she said yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Oh my
I will
God.
fly, I will get I
Yep.
will grab the ball, get the touchdown. Yeah. Okay, next play.
Yeah.
And then I'm on to the next play. Okay, we got the touch. What about the next one? And I don't stop. I know I don't stop. I'm on to the next one. But and that's one of the things that you know, I think it kind of take a step back to the energy, you and I focus on that in my community, but sometimes you don't drink take your own. the
Yes.
energy that you bring, but maybe because I already have the container to put me in that energetic space.
Yeah.
And that's you guys to help me stay in the space of gratitude. And because I have that energy, I really think that's why I get the wins that I get the contracts that I get. Because when I am in that space, I go out into the world with the sense of gratitude that I am so thankful for what I'm about to receive.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about what you said, Charmaine, in terms of we come back and we share it. That is so important because you're never supposed to be the smartest person in the room or in your squad or in your tribe, right? So when we are coming back and sharing what we learned, in my opinion, it's that this person is smarter here because you went and got this training. So I'm putting myself in a position with this dynamic group of women that are always working on themselves, always developing, always getting new shit to put into the pot so that they can be better. And every time you do that to be better, you make me better because you do share so ruthlessly, both of you. Tanisha, what you said to the gratitude piece, yes, we do often stop you and be like, wait, hold on. You just tripped over about 5 things. Now, what happened here? And so it's awesome to have someone to highlight your achievements because you are on to the next one. You are execute, 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 execute. I love the dynamics of our relationships, and I'm not sure that I would have noticed it or valued it as much. I don't know what that chemistry was. I don't know exactly what happened or how it happened, but I'm not sure that I would have selected you two as my friends. And here's why. I shared with y'all earlier that like, oh, I don't nurture friendships. I call my friends like, hey, can I, or can you, or do you want to come, or can we do, I have an extra ticket. And they're like, hi, how are you? Long time no hear. I'm like, you know, I love you. I'm here. What are we talking about? Like this was, we said this a long time ago. You're my friend, you know. So it's good to practice that piece of me that I know that I need to practice. And because of that, I've become better with reaching out to people, with nurturing relationships, with having coffee chats, with meeting up with others. Because I don't know if I'm exercising that muscle, perhaps maybe it's something spiritual where I'm attracting the energy that I need to be around me so that I can sharpen my knife or sword and they can sharpen theirs on mine. I'm not sure. But we've said we said a few things. Let's recap. I know Tanisha said you catch my wins. I know that Charmaine, you said that it's a squad because we share. You love sharing the information, and you had one other piece that I can't quite remember right. You know that that's gonna happen. And then I know that I said the dynamic, we sharpen each other's swords in different ways. Those are 3 reasons in and of itself. What other reasons do you think that someone could benefit from a squad?
So we talked about, sharing information and resources and being each other's cheerleaders and, kind of the output or the outcome of investing in this business squad is that we've become good friends, right? So that naturally happened as a result of us coming together as friends. I think the benefits are so varied, right? And in so many different ways, it depends on you as an individual. So as you were talking about the fact that you don't nurture friendships, right? We're friends and I'll roll around and it's the idea that we don't have to talk every single day. We don't have to talk every month. We don't have to talk every year, but when we get back together, it should just fall back into place kind of deal. That's what I hear you saying.
Mhm.
I am the epitome of nurturing friendships and it's part of my DNA. It's just how I operate. And so I feel blessed that you chose us, not
Oh,
just to be business squad friends, support, but that you chose us to be friends because, like you said, you don't nurture friendships. So the fact that you want to nurture this relationship in a friendship way says a whole lot. It really does. So I think that sometimes when we go into things, we don't realize what comes out on the other end. It's the unexpected gifts that you tend to get when you put yourself in positions of opportunity. And I think we all put ourselves in a position of opportunity to be a part of this community. And it is tenfold in just a short period of time, because a year is not a lot of time, but we have benefited wildly and can only anticipate our future is going to be even brighter because we're not in this on our own. We are in this together.
Mm.
And I don't take no for an answer. So I think I think Shalice said that to me, like, oh, I don't nurture a relationship. I was like, oh, that's a challenge? Oh, okay. So I just started, I don't want to say harassing her, but just reaching out to her more. And I told her this the other day. She was like, I don't know how I got involved in this group. I said, you show up. I said you
Yeah.
show up. And that's the other thing where I've tried to nurture, and I can't say that's my super strength. That's definitely Charmaine's strength. But I sometimes I know I can see things in people that I can see their strength or their genius. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. I want you around me because I don't have it all. And you're great in this area. So I want to be close to you because you're going to rub off on me and make me better. And when I've done that with other individuals, it just didn't stick. So I didn't give up. I just, okay, that's great. They didn't stick. On to the next one. And then Shalice said that I'm not good at nurturing. So I started,
I appreciate
messaging
that.
her. And then I was like, but then you show up.
Yeah.
You keep, you
She
keep
kept
showing up.
And I kept showing up. However,
Kept
I
showing
showed
up.
up in my robe, in my bonnet, and having that permission so many times. Like, isn't it hard I don't have my makeup on. I don't have you ladies gave me permission to just show up. Just show up. Like, I'm like, okay.
You know what would be fascinating is if someone could take all of our Marco Polos and put them together in a movie. Because at this point, we got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of
Look
Marco
at me,
Polos.
like I'm blushing just thinking about that. Like,
the only thing y'all haven't seen is probably me breaking down in the ugly cry. They have
but you've seen me in the ugly cry plenty of times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've seen me in the ugly cry.
Tanisha, maybe a few times. I have the record for the ugly cry.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm not ashamed of it.
I probably haven't just pressed the button like, here's what's happening. Yeah, but so I think the reason why y'all like me is because of the dirty lemon drops. I must stick to that.
There is
stick to that reason.
There is that. Yeah, that gave you a lot of brownie points.
Yeah.
We said, no, here's what we said. We gonna keep her. We'll keep her. We'll keep her. Because them damn dirty lemon drops.
So
and that salmon.
And that salmon.
You have perfected that salmon because that's all you eat.
That's it.
Right. Yeah.
Y'all, I want to talk about what were you going to say? Because I want to get into something that I want to surprise y'all about.
Uh-oh.
It's the ugly side. So everything is not always great in a squad. Like, you open yourself up to be so vulnerable. I don't know. I can cuss on my channel. So you
can.
You open yourself up. I'm the cusser if y'all haven't figured that out yet. You open yourself up to be so
I am too.
vulnerable. Yeah.
They've rubbed off on me. I was not this
Charmaine looks
now
like the
everything
innocent
is
one.
F
She's
that, you know, that's, so I've got, yeah.
So
It's the word accoutrements.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. It's take too long to
yes.
explain it any other way, but if I drop a F-bomb, you get me
You
right
know
away.
exactly, right?
The ugly side or some of the challenges that I've had with showing up vulnerably is you can offend people.
Mhm.
We have all offended each other and needed to sidestep. The thing is, are you going to go through it? Are you willing to take the extra effort to take this off a line with our three of us, Marco Polo, and pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm checking in. I don't think that landed right. Let's talk this through. Here was my intention. And that's a muscle that I learned to exercise a long time ago, but I'm still tender. Like in that area, I don't like that. I don't like offending people. I don't like it not landing well because my intention is always good. But I am who I am. I have the filters that I have. I have the um, personality that I have, and I can be a little rough at times.
That's just a lesson learned in any relationships or relationship, whether it be business or personal or any engagements that you have, that can you have honest conversations like that, and then also to be able to discern what the intentions were,
Mhm.
you know, what was the intention. So sometimes it doesn't land, and you're right, that's happened, you know, like that's happened. And am I able to look? That's what happened.
Are you getting nervous?
Getting nervous.
It's
So,
fine.
but
It's
you know,
fine.
it is what it
Yes.
is. It is what it is. But you know
Mhm.
that, you know what the intention was. Oops, that didn't go off very well. But I was trying. I
Yes,
was
this is what
trying to
I meant.
make you I was trying to make everybody happy. That didn't work.
Right, right, right.
That didn't work. But to
Yeah.
come back around and understand, and that's sometimes a muscle that needs to be built. And I think in our
That
community
part.
that we share with our clients and customers, that we push out to them, that these are muscles that you need to build. And you got to, in order to build it, you got to put yourself out there.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. And I think because we've spent so much time really nurturing the relationship, we started to build strong trust in each other. So when these things happen, because they just are, right?
Mhm.
I'm the super sensitive one out of the group. Um, but there's this thing called intent versus impact. And, you know, when we challenge each other or say, hey, that hurt, or ouch, or, you know, whatever was said, I'm not sure it landed correctly. I know that the good intentions are there. And I hope that the two of you know that good intentions are there on my end. And so we talk about it and we move on. And we would not be able to really do that if we had not built um, a solid tool of trust, right? Because
And
the more
you
you
always
trust people,
apologize with mimosas. So
I
that's
apologize with
plus
cocktails.
apologize with, yeah,
What's that barinator?
apology.
I haven't had that damn
The
barinator.
Bartesian.
Whatever. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. I have all the things.
You do.
And yeah. But yeah, I think you learn to do those things over time, especially when you get to know each other and you understand each other's quirks and just overall good heart and intention. You
Mhm.
know, I see so many groups of people breaking up because they misunderstand each other and they don't stop and connect and speak of intention versus impact.
Yeah,
And so I think we do that well.
I think so
So we
too.
care
Can
about
I
each other.
can I massage it? Because this is, you know, this is part of me being who I
Come on,
this is
let's
part of
get it.
Tanisha's dynamic, to massage it back, you know, in business, you know, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs that's watching. And I said, you know, building a muscle, and what Charmaine hit on was real key, that most, you know, if something like that happens in other groups, they just give up. Remember that this is, you know, this is an opportunity to test and not only grow that muscle, but test it, because you will encounter that on the end with clients and customers. And you have to be able to navigate and communicate with
Right.
these individuals, either keep them as a client or keep them for still sing your praises, even though it did not necessarily work out, that they know your intentions were to provide a good service to them, but it did not go as according to plan, or maybe your project didn't go according, because we put stuff out there and it didn't work. I'm like, oh wow, that didn't work out like I had hoped. I was supposed to do that. No, I don't know
I
how I
planned
missed
it and
that.
it sounded
Yeah.
really great.
It
Right.
did.
Yeah. And so, but that is, and that's just something you learn in, and I didn't say this, but I did have the insurance business that's like 10 years old. And in that business, that's something that because we deal with the public, and they're constantly, things that the customer does not like.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to have a conversation and come back to what your intentions are, which in business is your value and your mission. I still stand by my values. I still stand by my mission. And this is what our intentions are. And sometimes things on the other end don't line up, because there's outside factors, outside influences, and sometimes you have in relationship, you have other people in your ear. And I think that's one thing that we have been really I don't know, and maybe intentional about. I have been about who else is allowed in our trifecta here. So, and it's kind of like what they know, you go through like an interview process. It's not an interview process, but maybe a side conversation. Well, can you show up on Marco Polo 10 times a day? Let me see.
Right.
What you really doing all day?
Brave. For me, the first thing that comes up for those type of conversations is bravery, because often you may want to, or I'll speak for myself, I wanted to just gloss over it, and it doesn't get you anywhere. In my past life, corporate life, a lot of times you don't hit things head on. And in corporate life, that's probably when I knew I was on my way out. I would have a conversation, and before I would have this disclaimer, I felt like I needed this disclaimer. Like me, I come with the disclaimer, like, you're gonna get Shalise raw. It is what it is. If I offend you, my bad. Let's talk about it. We can talk about the intent. Sometimes I meant that shit. Like sometimes it wasn't, this wasn't good. And this is what
I had to look. I'm sorry, Shalise, a finger came. I'm like, which finger?
which finger? And sometimes I'm not that bad. Nisha, you put me out here. And sometimes it wasn't intended to go that way. And so, yeah, it takes bravery, which I've built up over time, and y'all allow me to practice that, because I can be vulnerable and you can be vulnerable. I mean, we've went through deaths, we've gone through surgeries, we've gone through all kinds of things together, and it just kind of happened. I don't think we intended to say, hey, we're going to talk about death and all this. It just
life happens.
Litigation.
Litigations.
I'm loving that mug. Be present. Is that? We also copy off of each other too. Be present, not perfect. See, she's gonna drop that link, and we're gonna buy that mug.
Yeah, this is a Black artist.
Oh yeah. I need that. I need that in my life.
Oh.
Done.
The other piece that I wanted to say is, sometimes when y'all are getting contracts, or we're in different areas in our business, because everybody is shining at different times, there's a piece of me that feels, I don't want to call it jealousy, right? But I'm trying to find the word for it, because it's like, well, wait, I've been working so hard. Gosh, it feels like I'm so behind. That's what it is. It's like there's a pitch or a piece, like, why am I behind?
But you know what it is? If you put it in perspective, the wins that I'm just going to speak for myself. The wins that I'm having is in my consulting practice. The thing that, I've been doing for 500 trillion years. And I am also building this other business to coach women into entrepreneurship. So when you talk about my wins, I think the thing that you helped me to see, because before I was like, I don't want to do that business no more. I just want to do this. And then it was like, Charmaine, you're an entrepreneur, you have 2 businesses. And I think by you two celebrating my wins on the consult
Wow.
helped me to actually love that and in a way that I didn't love anymore. And it's not to say that I'm not doing one or the other. I'm doing both. You both got me to see that I'm doing both. So my wins are based on me having invested so much time in so many years in this one space. And now I'm starting, from scratch, but with some really good tools,
Mhm.
right? And experiences. I'm starting up a new business. It's the same thing with Tanisha. You, you know, you got your bundles coming out, and it's based off of you being an attorney for many years,
Not
right?
that many. She's not that
So
old.
you two
Not that
have
many.
gotten,
No.
say that
It,
again.
it is,
Okay.
it
I'm
kind of
Yeah,
joking.
is
she's
that
on, yeah,
many.
because she's really only
It's
15
like
years
over
old.
15. Yeah, 15.
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
15 years.
But
Many years.
you got need to celebrate those wins and of that again, as opposed to, yeah, I got that, but this is what I really want to do, right? You got me to see that there's blessing in all of it. So thank you.
Well,
But
you're
put it in
welcome.
perspective, the wins are based on years and years investment of time in this one
What
space. And now we're growing in this other area.
that
So
says
just
for
keep it
me,
real, Shalice. You know you're competitive. It's your competitive nature. That's
is
just
this a
because I'm
competitive?
competitive because I see because both of us are competitors. So when you see, I don't say anything to you. I'm like, oh, that's what she's doing. That's what I'm about to do.
I love it.
I'm like,
I
okay, I'm
love it, but
competitive.
everybody, this is the one thing that I have learned, and maybe why I don't have that competitive nature the way the two of you do, is because I do firmly believe that everybody walks their own line, and our businesses are so different
They are.
Yeah, they are, but I don't even think
that I
Shalice.
can't compare. I can be influenced, and I can, get my motivation from you,
Mhm.
but my
Hmm.
line is my line, your line is your line. You see what I'm saying? But that's
Mhm.
just me.
I love it.
But yeah, I love that whether you know it or not, you push me. And I don't even think Shalice knew because Shalice was like, okay, my revenue goal is, and I was like, and then she was like, well, what's yours? I was like, mine is this. I don't even think she realized I said the same thing. I was like, well, mine gonna be that too.
I didn't.
Isn't it the same thing? Do you realize that now that I said the same? That's what mine gonna be.
But wait,
So
but then
And we met
somebody
it.
hold on.
square
Oh, you
walk the stage as $1 million business. So I'm just
Oh
saying.
yeah. We broke up just a little bit.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so I have a little bit of that thing as well. Like, yeah, the stage is $1 million business. That's my real estate business. I'm over
oh my
here in the
gosh.
coaching lane.
See?
You know what I
Oh my
mean?
God.
I'm in the coaching lane. And what I was going to say to you, Charmaine, is what better example than to be coached out of my corporate job by an entrepreneur who has this consultant's business that these contracts are dropping, showing me how to do that as I exit the stage. Now, I understand that you're growing this coaching business, and I'm kind of talking to myself, right? And yet, as an entrepreneur, you've been so successful. Of course, you can show me this. It's
Yeah.
easy.
But
Easy.
I think that, not but, and
Mhm.
reinforcing my point earlier, you two got me to understand that part as opposed to separating this from that,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I got that from my squad.
Good. Good.
Right, and you did the same for me. It may help me realize how I can still do the legal work and offer the contract templates, and I can still offer support that's still aligned with my mission to support entrepreneurs.
Let me tell you
I'm
that
like,
those contract templates are going to blow up. Do you
so
know how
yeah,
many people ask for
Everybody
those
needs them.
contract bundles?
Every,
yeah.
Like, I did some hodgepodge stuff. I'm
all of
like,
our clients need them.
everybody needs it.
So I need to know just shameless plug. But yeah, well, so I need to know what contracts I'm going to make next. And that's based on the population and the feedback. That's what I will do next. But yeah,
So drop
just
it in the
FYI.
comments. If you
Yeah.
have a service-based business, drop it in the comments based on like what kind of contract are you scrambling with that you might need a help from an attorney
Yeah.
/ coach, an attorney and coach, because it puts you in this unique position that you have the law behind you. And I love that part. And that's why I think you thrive so much in terms of the work that you do with the incubators and so on. And they're like, oh, we get both. You know how to coach the business and you can put some
Protect my stuff.
legality behind it. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
come on in here. We need you.
Mhm.
This is great. Any last things? How do you get a squad? I think we haven't.
Yeah.
How do you get a squad?
Mm.
I I I would say for um write down what you want. Write down the type of support that you need and that you would benefit from. That to me would be the first step because I think it's spiritual. I think it goes into the universe, the feelings that you want to feel, the support that you need. And then I would even say, kind of leave that there and then go and build relationships. Like be in them DMs, people that you see that come through your algorithm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, I guess. I don't know because I'm not on there so much. Like find out who's saying things that you appreciate with a differing point of view and DM them, have a 15, 30-minute coffee chat, start, talking back and forth in the comments, just seeing where things go. That's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
What do y'all
I
think?
would go back to the energy part and and when you're having those conversations, what building on what you said, Shalise, is what is the energy that they're bringing in or taking?
Mhm.
And paying attention to how you feel about that connection with them. And if, some people can be draining. Some people are more takers than givers. And but at the same time, we all have to be a little selfish. Just like, what am I going to get out of this relationship? I'm spending all this time and energy nurturing and trying to cultivate something, and I'm the only one doing it.
Yeah.
No, that it doesn't work. That doesn't feel good. What am I going to get from this? Are you going to, even if it's the aspect of just inspire me to, move forward to get through the day? Oh my gosh, that's helpful. Or what, you're providing me resources. Maybe another friend just provides you resources. Well, it could be, it doesn't have to be all encompassing from one person,
Mm,
but you have to be aware of what your needs are and not to and where your energy lies and where their energy lies and how it can be a good fit to expand more. I really think it should help you to grow and you should be able to be more with the sum of us is greater than us alone.
mhm.
I don't think that's how the quote goes, but
Well, I think we got
To
it.
me.
yeah.
Tanisha, thank you, because that's a great point. Your squad may not look like ours. Y'all might not Marco Polo and ugly cry on the phone with each other, okay? Your squad might be separate where you are getting this from this person and you might be talking to this person and you may be meeting up with that person, but collectively you're a squad. Thank you for bringing that up, Tanisha. Charmaine, what you think?
Yeah, I would say don't over construct your squad, meaning there has to be some natural and it can't be forced. It shouldn't be so structured that, it becomes a job for you. Because that has happened before, not with this squad, but with others. I would also say that don't overlook the fact that your squad could literally be right in your network, in your community, that you may have overlooked, that you hadn't even thought. Because Tanisha and I are a prime example of that.
My
Did you
gosh, you're
even,
right. Oh my gosh. And then Shalice is right down the street from me. We're like
right?
literally, so close we could touch each other and
Yeah.
did not connect in that way
Didn't know
for
it.
all of
Did not
us,
know
all of
it.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's important to list out what you're looking for, what you need, but don't over prescribe it. Let it, in some ways, put yourself in positions of opportunity,
I think that like, I
work
love
and
that,
people, and
Charmaine.
let people know what you're looking for. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
what'd you
You were
say?
breaking up a little bit. I thought
Sorry.
you stopped talking. I'm sorry. No, I love what you're saying because
Right.
I think maybe we didn't, necessarily give squad a definition, but I think you just gave it a definition that is more, the squad is more organic and not so structured versus I think when we had the workshop or webinar last year about the board of advisors that may be more structured and it's very intentional about who is there to advise you versus the squad where because you're not necessarily going to go to your board of advisors with the ugly cry, but you're that's not what they're necessarily there. But your squad, you can give the other. I think you should be able to give the ugly cry, ugly cry.
So, I mean, we know each other's kids. I don't know. We formed a uniquely beautiful thing. We know each other's kids and dogs, and Leo is my nephew, and all the things we're watching I love to watch y'all grow. What I get from this is I get high. I get a high on watching Black women succeed. And every time I hear a ping, because you let us know, Tanisha, come into your account, like from a contract that you got. Every
Mhm.
time, Charmaine, you are on another stage or on another panel, or you get another contract. I'm like, yes, these women are doing it. And by mere like being in your presence and the energy, it rubs off somehow. I'm like spiritual, but I feel like that energy becomes a part of me.
And that's what I love about you too, because you do bring that peace and tranquility. And more importantly, you have helped me. I can't speak for Tanisha because I think Tanisha already has her plan, but I hadn't even thought about the idea of picking up and leaving and going to another country for months, for a few months, just to be and to relocate to get a different perspective and to refresh and to, you know, renew. And I hadn't even thought about those things. I know Tanisha's got her plan in Florida. I don't have a plan, but you all have inspired me to
I
create
mean,
a
I have a plan,
yeah,
and
you
I
do.
like your plan too, Charmaine. But I have, responsibilities.
Well,
my
I only
it's
have
like
one more
6'2".
year. I got one more year. You got how many more years?
I got like five,
I got one
four and
more.
a half, 4.5 more years.
More years.
I'm in this gym, and I don't know if the music is overtaking what I'm saying here. No, okay, here's the thing. Even with responsibilities, I encourage us to take out the time. Tanisha, you good at this anyway. Like your husband will fly you you're like, oh, so here's what we're doing.
This
I told
weekend, I
him,
have my bags packed. We're
here's
ready
what
to
we're
go.
doing this weekend. Yeah, my husband told me that we getting ready to go to Florida for the weekend today at 3 o'clock. So I gotta go by. That's Tanisha. And so taking those moments to, if it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 4 days, to just live as if, right? That's my business. Live as if, and I have an ellipsis after it because for me, um, today was your last day. That's what I think. Another way that I think about live as if is live as if what you think is yours is already yours. And that's one
Oh,
of the
girl.
things that we're going to
Ooh.
do at the retreat. Live as
Mm.
if you are your 5-year self. That was my first journal prompt to the attendees. I want you to I want you to write down your 5-year future self, and that's who shows up at the retreat. I want that lady to show up. And that's what I mean by live as if you already have it.
And this
I
is how
love
you
that.
know that this is like the things that pop, the pings that go off in the brain, the Shalisa, that let you know you're in the right place, because that's exactly, like, we're in synergy, because in my workshop that I just did last week, I literally took them through an exercise where I said, close your eyes and I want you to envision yourself 3 years from now. And I
Well,
gave them prompts on what to do. So that type of thing. And we've never talked about that. Shalice just brought this up. And I don't think she knew about the exercise,
I
but that
didn't.
helps you know, like, you're in the right place. You're different, but the same.
yeah, yeah.
What
I
you
think
think is Charmaine?
well, I was just saying that, I do that with my clients as well. I mean, it's before you start getting to work, it's important to start thinking about your future self, envisioning out what you want. And my model is around simply living me. And what does that mean to you? And in your most authentic and real way, right? Not what others have told you that you should be, but what is it that you want, right? And so I think we all infuse that exercise in one way, shape, or another with our clients, but that is the beginning point. That's the starting point.
Unapologetically, did I say that?
Right?
Unapologetically, yeah.
Unapologetically. I
Unapologetically.
love how we could talk about this forever. Another
Mm.
thing that I get from Charmaine, and I told her this, so you know this, is that she is her, period. She's her today, tomorrow, in front of the board, in front of the kid, in front of her friends. Like, Charmaine gonna show up. And that was work for me because I had a kid young, I had kids young, married young, divorced, all before my synapse glands like closed. All before I turned 27, I made all these decisions in my life. And so I had embraced these narratives of who I should be. And Charmaine is just like, oh, I'm me. Today ain't a good day. Today is a fucking phenomenal day. And I'm out here shining. Like, that is Charmaine through and through. And I love that so much as I continue to get rid of fucks.
You know what I
I
love
love
about Charmaine? Charmaine would show up and it'll be like, 9 o'clock, and she will have full blown makeup on, ready to go, hair done. We were like, wow,
The other day,
who
Charmaine
did your makeup?
she went to her photo shoot, and I was like, I put on Marco, I was like, I do not deserve you. I do not deserve to be in your presence.
But wait, but yesterday was pajama day and I looked a
Yeah,
hot ass mess. So you get what you get.
you
But
get
I
what you get.
figured we were going to be on your page, Shalice. I didn't want to look like a hot mess today. That's all.
And I
I
came the
didn't
opposite way, like puff,
come
no
as you
makeup, no, this
are.
isn't.
Look,
Come as
it's 7 o'clock where I am, and I know it's 10 o'clock where y'all are. So, who this has been really wonderful.
this
And
was fun.
one
Yes.
takeaway for me from this group is we got to do this again. That's my takeaway. We got to do it again and delve into like one topic real
Yeah, what
deep.
topics, what would the community
What y'all want
love
to hear?
to hear,
Yeah.
what they want to hear about, or what they got out of this.
She gonna let Leo see us next
And guess
time.
what? And it doesn't have to be business related either,
No,
because
it doesn't, because we don't always talk about business. We don't.
Nah, we went real deep, real fast when we had that lemonade. I mean, what's the dirty lemon drop thing with my Jenga that sits on the table with the questions? The fact that we had already had drinks in our system, it helped. But I love
Oh
that
yeah.
in terms of my way of getting to know my girlfriends and understanding them on the level that we don't normally get to. And that Jenga on my table comes from when my kids were young. and asking that question, how was school today? That's played out. I would make their friends play it. They would play it. And I think from the time my son was about 8, I had that Jenga that I wrote out and I put it on the table. So my nieces love it. My friends like it sometimes when we come over, and I get to know y'all a whole lot better. So, okay, yeah. In the comments, what do you want to hear about next time? What y'all want to know more about? And I love you ladies, and thank you for joining me. And I'll see y'all on Marco Polo in a minute, because
Oh, yeah.
you
Well,
know
we
that's what
love
we're gonna do.
you. Thank you so much for creating this space for us and
Absolutely.
creating the space for others to know that they can build their squad and the importance of that.
Squad goals, squad
Squad goals,
goals.
hashtag. Look at Tanisha coming with the coming with the hashtag. All right, bye.